Canada expected the F-35 to dominate the skies. The Pentagon promised it was the most advanced fighter ever created, but everything changed the moment Sweden's Gripen E entered the conversation. Suddenly, analysts, experts, and even Canadian officials were shocked. How could a lightweight, cost-effective Swedish fighter outperform America's trillion-dollar F-35 program? Today, we break down the stunning reasons why Sweden's Gripen may have been the fighter Canada should have chosen, and why this comparison rattled the Pentagon, shocked Canadians, and reshaped the global debate over modern air power. Welcome to a story the defense world never wanted publicly discussed. Canada has been trapped in a long, painful air power crisis. Its aging CF-18 Hornet fleet purchased in the 1980s has become a logistical nightmare. Maintenance costs have skyrocketed, spare parts are scarce. Availability rates are dropping fast, pilots aren't receiving enough flight hours to stay at peak combat readiness. With tensions rising across the Arctic and Russian aircraft pushing closer to Canadian airspace, the Royal Canadian Air Force urgently needs a modern, dependable, cost-efficient fighter. But political delays, budget fights, and shifting procurement strategies left the RCAF stuck in limbo for years. Out of that crisis came one of the most controversial fighter jet decisions Canada ever made, and one of the biggest what-ifs in its defense history. Sweden designed the Gripen with a very different philosophy. It wasn't built for global dominance. It wasn't built to impress superpowers. It was built to outperform them using smart engineering instead of massive budgets. The entire concept behind Gripen breaks from the American model. While the F-35 depends on huge bases, complex logistics, and foreign support chains, Gripen was built to be rugged, simple, and fiercely independent. Swedish engineers focused on real-world combat needs. Operate anywhere, even from icy roads or remote airstrips. Turn around in minutes, refuel and rearm with a 5-person crew. Keep maintenance simple, engine swaps in under an hour, repairs in the field, upgrades installed like software updates. No foreign approval required. Gripen is built around electronic warfare first, using digital stealth to jam, blind, or confuse enemy radars. It prioritizes information superiority, not just speed or size. The result is a fighter that is agile, affordable, and extremely difficult to target. A jet designed for nations that need top-tier capability without relying on superpower infrastructure. Despite the F-35's enormous budget and global hype, Sweden's Gripen E surprisingly outperforms it in several mission-critical areas, especially the areas that matter most for a country like Canada. The first advantage, Arctic operations. Gripen was built for winter warfare. It can operate from frozen runways, icy highways, and isolated bases. Conditions that often ground the F-35 don't slow the Gripen at all. Second, maintenance and reliability. Gripen requires far fewer maintenance hours per flight. It can be turned around in minutes by a tiny ground crew. The F-35's heavy maintenance burden creates long downtimes and far higher costs. Third, electronic warfare. Gripen E carries one of the world's most advanced EO suites, capable of jamming radars, confusing missiles, and even detecting stealth aircraft. Some analysts call this digital stealth, giving Gripen a massive survivability edge in contested airspace. Fourth, cost per flight hour. Gripen is dramatically cheaper to operate, often about one-third the cost of an F-35 over its 30-year lifetime. That saves billions and allows more flying time and better training. Fifth, sovereignty. Gripen gives full access to software, weapons, and upgrades. Canada would have complete control. The F-35 locks those systems behind American permissions and digital restrictions. Sixth, combat flexibility. Gripen can operate with or without AWACS support. Its advanced data links allow it to build a real-time battlefield picture even when isolated, essential for a country with massive territory and limited surveillance coverage. Canadians were stunned when data showed that Sweden's Gripen E, an affordable lightweight fighter, outperformed the ultra-expensive F-35 in several categories Canada cares about most. Many expected the F-35 to dominate everything automatically. Instead, the Gripen proved superior in Arctic performance, maintenance simplicity, operating cost, reliability, and long-term sovereignty. These findings clashed with the assumption that the F-35 was the obvious choice. Gripen's performance contradicted long-standing beliefs inside Canada's defense establishment. And this contradiction, performance versus politics, is what shocked Canadians most. It also fueled intense public debate. Did Canada truly choose the right aircraft, or did it choose the one the Pentagon expected it to choose? Inside Washington, the panic was real. When Canada's evaluation showed Gripen E outperforming the F-35 in real-world mission categories, the Pentagon grew increasingly concerned. This wasn't just about losing one sale. It was about the message that SAIL would send to the world. If one of America's closest allies picked Gripen over the F-35, the global implications would be enormous. Would other nations start questioning whether the F-35 is truly the best option? Would U.S. defense dominance weaken? Would Finland, Switzerland, India, or the Czech Republic rethink their choices? A Canadian Gripen purchase could have triggered a domino effect across Europe, Asia, and Latin America. Fewer F-35 exports, reduced U.S. leverage, billions lost. A major credibility blow to the trillion-dollar F-35 program. The Pentagon feared a dangerous message, that a small, cheaper Swedish fighter could outperform America's flagship aircraft in many real operational roles. That possibility alone was enough to make Washington nervous. Gripen is proof that smart engineering can beat brute force spending. It shows that a fighter doesn't need to cost hundreds of millions to be effective, and its surprising performance forced Canadians to question the official narrative behind their nation's aircraft choice. The F-35 may be a powerful jet, but it is not the perfect jet for every mission or every country. Canada now flies the F-35, but the debate is far from over. Did Canada overlook the fighter that was truly designed for its skies? The shock remains. The analysis continues. And the world is still watching.